Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher, emperor of Rome. Marcus Aurelius, born on April 26, 121 AD in Rome, was not just an emperor. He was a philosopher, a leader of unmatched character, and one of the most revered Stoic thinkers in history. His reign, 161 to 180 AD, marked the last phase of the Pax Romana, a long era of relative peace and stability for the Roman Empire. Despite facing wars, plagues, betrayals, and personal loss, Marcus ruled with wisdom, patience, and a deeply philosophical mind. His life is a powerful example of how Stoic principles can guide action, even in the most turbulent times. Early life and education. Marcus was born into a wealthy and influential Roman family. His birth name was Marcus Annius Verus. He was related to Emperor Hadrian through his mother, which placed him within the imperial elite. From a young age, Marcus showed signs of deep intellect and moral character. Recognizing his potential, Hadrian chose Antoninus Pius as his successor on the condition that he would adopt Marcus and another young noble, Lucius Verus. Marcus was groomed for leadership from his early teens. He studied rhetoric under Herodes Atticus and Stoic philosophy under Junius Rusticus, who had a profound influence on his thinking. Marcus abandoned his luxurious lifestyle and began to wear a rough woolen cloak and sleep on the floor to train himself in self-discipline and endurance, classic Stoic practices. Becoming emperor. When Antoninus Pius died in 161 AD, Marcus Aurelius became emperor at the age of 40. He chose to rule jointly with his adoptive brother, Lucius Verus, a rare act of humility and political wisdom. Though Lucius lacked the discipline of Marcus, the two co-ruled peacefully until Lucius died in 169 AD. Almost immediately, Marcus's reign was tested. The Roman Empire faced continuous wars on its borders, a massive plague, possibly smallpox, and political instability. Most emperors before him would have used these challenges to assert power violently, but Marcus chose a different path. The philosopher king. Unlike other emperors, Marcus did not indulge in extravagance or tyranny. Instead, he turned inward, writing what would become one of the most important philosophical texts in history, Meditations. This private journal, written in Greek, was never meant for publication. In it, Marcus reflects on duty, virtue, suffering, and the importance of living in accordance with nature and reason. Meditations is not a record of conquest or pride, but rather a series of honest reminders to himself. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He constantly reminded himself to be humble, to serve others, and to accept whatever fate brought his way. Even as emperor, he viewed himself not as a ruler above others, but as a servant of Rome. War and duty. One of the most difficult parts of Marcus's reign was the long series of conflicts known as the Marco-Mannic Wars, fought along the Danube frontier against Germanic tribes. Instead of ruling from luxury in Rome, Marcus lived with his soldiers on the front lines for years. He led by example, sharing the hardships of war, enduring the cold, disease, and fatigue. He rarely returned to Rome during these years, believing his presence with the army was necessary for morale and justice. During these campaigns, Marcus wrote large parts of Meditations. Surrounded by the horrors of war, he used Stoicism as a mental armor, writing, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This became one of his most famous teachings and a guiding light for generations to come.